Hi, it's such a pretty day outside. I thought I would come outside and talk about the Real Techniques Beauty Blender dupe. So this is the Real Techniques. I think they call it the Miracle Sponge. And I want to give you a review, tell you what I use it for and how I use it, and my overall thoughts. So the Real Techniques, before I get there, the Beauty Blender is a the original sponge. It's pink and more of a teardrop shape, and it's wonderful. It's exactly the same texture as this. It's just $20. This, I think, is the same material or as close as possible. There's a lot of dupes out there, but this, in my opinion, is the closest, and I like the shape better. So while the Beauty Blender is a teardrop, so it does have a point, and then it has more of a fat body. This has the point, so you can get around corners nicely, but instead of the rounded edge, it has this flat edge, which I actually prefer. So the flat edge is good for getting right up to the line, and I use it to tamp everywhere right there. As you'll see from this, I put my foundation on that slanted edge. So this one is $5.99. You can often get a pack at Ulta or online for two of them for like 11 or 12. They're also always on sale, or it's on sale at Ulta. So if you keep an eye out for Real Techniques, these will often get buy one get one half off, which is awesome. So each one of these will last me a good. It's hard to tell because I have multiples because I don't like washing them. So, but I would say if you only had one, they would last you 3 months at least, maybe 6 months if you take care of it. So it's not a big investment at all. To spoil the surprise at whether or not I like this product, I so highly recommend it and force it into the hands of my friends when they say they don't know how to blend foundation. So this is a tool that you can use wet or dry. I prefer to use it wet. So we'll talk about for a second why I'm holding two. Is one of them is dry. So you'll see it's harder for me to push and get down. Now when you wet it, it becomes much larger and becomes much softer. So we can see the two sides. When you wet it, it's really important that you just not run it under the water, but instead that you saturate it and really get it completely saturated with water and heavy and squeeze it out. And you can be rough with it. You can squeeze it quite tightly. And then what I do is take a towel, wipe my hands off, and then I do take the towel around it, one final squeeze. So there's no water left on it. But what it's done is enough water has absorbed that it's given it that buoyancy, as well as it's going to help prevent the sponge itself from absorbing makeup. So now it's wet. We talked about what the product looks like, if I love it, which I do, and what it's for. Now let's talk about how I use it. So you can use this product for really any cream or powder. It's mostly used for creams, so liquid foundations, cream foundations, any type of foundations. Any type of powder, you can use it to set. You can use it with let's say a contour powder and stamp it on. So you can use it on dry powders as well, which is what's interesting, and I didn't know that when I first started it, and that's really what's transformed my love of this sponge. So you can use it for just about anything. What I personally use it for is to blend my foundation, my concealer, then to add dry powder on top to set it. So what I do is I take the foundation, put it around with my finger because it comes out of a pump, rub that around so that the product is kind of where I want it. And then I take the flat end of the sponge, and the important thing that if you learn anything, is you want to push it into your skin. You don't want to rub it like this. This is going to move the product down, and you're going to move it from where you needed it. So remember, we patched on the foundation to begin with. It's where we want it, which maybe for me is right here, up here. Other people, it might be discoloration down here they want to keep. So again, to keep the product where you want to have the most coverage is you push it into your skin. And I take quite a while to blend my foundation, but once you see it in action, you'll see how nicely it blends out the foundation. It's just amazing. I take it all the way down there, and then at this point, honestly, I do the swipe to get anything that's left on my neck. That's the only time I use the swipe. So even up here, I personally can't use it for my concealer that much. I will go up here with the flat edge, but the way that my face is shaped, this point is too chubby to get in there. So I do use a brush for that tiny bit, but other than that, I use it for that. So now my foundation and concealer are on and I'm looking flawless. I want to set it. This trick with the powder has really changed my makeup game, because it allows me to apply enough powder to mattify and set my makeup, but not so much that I have that dreaded powdery face. So it allows me to apply the exact amount I need. Because it has the exact amount, my makeup stays all day, because I covered everything but didn't overdo it. So what I do is I take it, dip it directly into the loose powder. I use Coty Airspun powder, favorite, great for this, great for all skin types. A little hard to find at times, but I get mine off Amazon. I dip it directly into the product and then go to the cap and tap it off so that there's not any extra. Then I take it and push it directly into my skin. And one dip in takes care of 1/4 of my face. So I go blend all the way here. So I'm getting powder every place that I put foundation, which is what makes it stay so long. But I'm going all the way around. And when you first put the powder on, you're going to take it off and look and think you're overdoing it. But you're not, because you're so gently blending it around. So I use the same one. I use the curved edge for the powder and then the flat edge for the foundation every day to do my makeup. I think for $6, not having to use brushes is amazing. It's great quality. You wash it in, I use Dawn detergent. It's a liquid detergent, and it is time consuming, just as cleaning your brushes are time consuming, but they just last. I use them on clients every time. Those are clean and just orange, but give it a shot. I think this is one product that I can absolutely get so excited about and think everybody should have in their makeup arsenal. So I hope you're having a wonderful day. I would love to hear if you love this product or you hate it, or if you have a better dupe, or what you think. I'd be really interested in if anybody else is this passionate about this as I am. Thank you so much for hanging out with me.